There's a recent article by the Associated Press that is extremely important. It just came out, and it says rebel push forward in southern Syria. Of course, that's a very, very misleading title, because if you look at the article, it brings together a larger story that no one is telling you in the mainstream media. Now, the article says Syrian rebels backed by the United States are making their biggest gains yet south of the capital, Damascus. Now, we read further. The rebel forces are believed to include fighters who graduated from a nearly 2-year-old CIA training program based in Syria's southern neighbor, Jordan. You read a little bit further, you read between the lines, and it says, the rebels are working together with fighters from Al-Qaeda's Syria branch, and they're working with al-Nusra. So U.S. mercenaries, this should be the title of this AP article, U.S. CIA mercenaries are working with Al-Qaeda. That should be the title of this article. Now, of course, there's nothing new about rebel forces in the south pushing towards Damascus. We knew this back in August when Assad forces lost major battles by the very close to Damascus airport. And if we look at the map, you could see everything unfolding here. The major battles are happening in Quneitra, which is this city here, which is very close to Damascus, and the Syrian rebels, which include ISIS, which include al-Nusra, which include the CIA mercenaries that were trained in Jordan. The main reason they're making their major push from here is because they're getting support from Israel and Jordan. So we have CIA, U.S. government money, your taxes going to money, weapons, supplies, intelligence, ammunition, and support for al-Nusra, for Al-Qaeda going against Damascus. And they're getting help from Israel, and they're getting help from Jordan. All U.S., Israel, Jordan, it's come out. It's blatantly being shown to you, but you have to connect the dots by reading the article. They put out misleading statements. And the AP, and this is the most insane thing about this article, you put the 2 points together. Al-Nusra, U.S. mercenaries trained by the CIA, working together. And the only thing that the AP puts together is the cooperation points to the difficulty in American efforts to build up moderate factions while isolating extremists. They only say it's difficult. They don't talk about how this whole war on terror, this whole war on Syria is a total scam, it's a total lie. They don't tell you that. No, they just say it's just difficult. That, the U.S. is pretty much giving money, weapons, supplies, intelligence, and ammunition to Al-Qaeda. They don't tell you that fact. They don't tell you how the main goal of the whole war in Syria is to remove Assad from power. It's not to fight Al-Qaeda. It's not to fight ISIS. They wouldn't be joining the forces together. They wouldn't be using our money, our taxes, to help finance al-Nusra, to help finance Al-Qaeda when we're supposed to be fighting them. So on one point in the mainstream media, we're being told that we have to train moderate rebels. This came out a couple of years ago. CIA ramping up covert training programs for moderate rebels. And of course, that was the major selling point. That's what everyone in the mainstream media, everyone in the government was saying, is that no, these guys are moderate. We have to support these guys. This article came out in 2003. Now it's coming out that these people are with al-Nusra. I don't know how more blatant can it get with showing how the CIA is working with Al-Qaeda to topple Assad, and how this whole war on ISIS is really just a covert plan to go after Assad. And again, if the rebels are able to get to Assad, and they're able to get to Damascus, they're pretty much on the doorsteps of changing everything happening in Syria. And this is happening right now. And again, the mainstream media is going to talk about Kim Kardashian's ass. Yeah, it's just insane knowing that this conflict has killed over 200,000 people, displaced millions, and yet our money is being sent there for more conflict, for more war, and yet it's not a major talking point. Here at WeAreChange, we've been talking about ISIS for an extremely long time. We broke down how this whole thing was a facade, how this whole war with Syria was a lie. This whole war against ISIS was a lie back in September when they made the announcements that they're going to start bombing ISIS. That wasn't true. We talked to a photographer who was there who uncovered how Turkey was helping out ISIS and terrorists in Syria. We talked to David Icke, who's a philosopher, about this all the way back in June, before any mainstream media coverage, and broke down all the lies, all the misconceptions. We went to England and talked to MP George Galloway about this and broke down how ISIS are allies to the U.S. We talked to government whistleblower Annie Machon, and she talked about Libya and how that was exactly what was planned for with Syria, and uncovered how the Western governments were creating terrorism. And then we also talked to investigative journalist Wayne Madsen, that broke down the ISIS and CIA ties even more directly. And again, mainstream media, no mention of it. They talk about how difficult it is, that your money is being spent on supporting and aiding Al-Qaeda. Welcome to 1984, George Orwell's horrible, horrible dystopic future, when our government is supposedly fighting Al-Qaeda, but in reality, the CIA is fighting with Al-Qaeda. Yes. Now, I know a lot of people know this, but a lot of people in the United States do not know this. They don't understand the true power that they have. It's only our ignorance that allows this thing to happen. If you remember, just a year ago, it was the people outcrying against the removal of Assad, protesting against the government going against Assad, that was able to stop Barack Obama from bombing Damascus. Alongside with Russia, it was a contributing factor. It is only because of our ignorance, it is only because we don't pay attention to these things are they allowed to get to it. Here, we point out the facts, we link stories up, we show you the history of it, how they lied before and they say it's for moderate Syrian rebels, it's really for Al-Qaeda. And yet again, the true power is within your hands. Share this video with people who have no clue about what's happening in Syria. It's very important to get the word out, and if we get the word out enough, I think we can make a significant difference in what's happening here now, because there's a reason the mainstream media is talking about Kim Kardashian's ass and not talking about what's really happening in Syria right now. So don't forget to share this video with your friends. If you found this information helpful, definitely click the like button, and don't forget to subscribe. We're going to be breaking down news stories that no one else is breaking down for you here on this YouTube channel. Thank you again so much for watching.